ABCs of Technology.
Welcome to Cognitive Theory of Multimedia. Today I'm going to be focusing on the second assumption of this theory, which is dual channels. In simple terms, this theory is how we use pictures and words during our multimedia presentations and to effectively use them in order to teach or to present. And so I'm going to be using this animation as an example on how to use pictures and words. Dr. Richard Mayer is a professor of psychology who has done a lot of research on multimedia instruction. And accompanying his work, you usually find this graphic here, which has a lot of words, a lot of tables and arrows flowing here and there. And so I'm just going to give you a few seconds to look at it, and then we'll continue from here. Now that you've looked at the diagram, you've probably experienced something that they call cognitive overload. This page is filled with a lot of information. Your eyes have followed the arrows and you're trying to figure out the boxes. You're reading and listening to my voice, and this is all filled with academic language. And on top of that, I've added captions for you to read. You were reading the caption, your eyes were on the diagram, following the arrows and the boxes. You were listening to academic language through your ears. You were looking at my character and wondering what's up with his mouth. And you probably figured out by now that I have an accent. And so you did everything except learn. And so this is not a good way to present this diagram if you were to explain this, especially in this type of animation. And so this is what the dual channel assumption is about. It's that there's too many distractions, too many things for your mind to process at the same time. And so you have to pace this out. So we will be giving this a second chance. And so while doing that, I will use 5 principles that will help us to formulate a better multimedia presentation. And so we will start by eliminating my character from off the screen. We will start by eliminating any extra information or diagram that we don't need. And so simply start with the left side of the diagram. And at the far left, you see what should be the multimedia presentation. In this case, it's the animation. And then right hand side, you have the sensory and memory space. Boxes represent memory storage. And so the one on the left is the presentation itself. In this case, it could be this animation. And on the right hand side, you have your sensory memory, which are your ears and your eyes. And so when you see words, those go through your eyes, and you can also hear it, and pictures you can see. And so this is where a lot of learning takes place, in the working memory. This is where sounds can be turned into images and images into sounds, and sounds then are turned into verbal models and images into pictorial models. So here it's important to note the differences between working memory and long-term memory. Long-term memory can hold knowledge, and it can hold that knowledge over a long periods of time, while working memory is limited in that capacity. So this is where long-term memory aids working memory. The guiding idea behind cognitive theory of multimedia is that we have to be aware of how people learn, and that we have limited capacity in our working memory. And so any animation, graphics, text, voiceovers, anything that involves multimedia has to be carefully used.